Hello friends, you're with the Lonesome Gamer, and today I'm gonna play Memoir 44, a pretty light war game by Days of Wonder. It's a very successful game with lots of expansions, and the reason is probably, and pretty sure, that it has, for once, it has really beautiful components. I mean, in most war games you have only chits and stuff like that, and many people don't like that. But here you got some nice miniatures and you got some beautiful terrain and all that stuff. And on the other hand, it really comes with simple rules. So maybe even for people of you that who don't enjoy war games that much, it might be worth watching this, because it's really a great fun game actually. A problem is it's definitely a two-player game, and that's where it really shines. But there are lots of solo rules on the Geek, and well, I kind of got inspired by them and came up with a very simple way to play that game solo, and well, I just want to show it to you. So let's set up the game. Okay, so the game is set, and it's actually a scenario-based game. It covers the landing on Normandy at D-Day, and then the following conflict in the Normandy until the liberation of Paris. That's at least the base game. The following expansions cover a lot more actually. So what we are playing is here Operation Cobra from July 25th to 26th, 1944. And let's see what the historical background says. Operation Cobra was predicated on the situation bombing of German lines over a narrow front. After the bombing, an attack would be made by 3 infantry divisions, with 2 armored and 1 infantry divisions held in reserve of this breakout force. Well, these are the 2, I guess. Let me see. Yeah, exactly. These are the 2 infantry divisions with armored. And that is the other one. General Bradley's intention in Cobra was to get the US forces out of hetero hell and into the uplands further south, where they would be able to maneuver. The ground attack began at 11 o'clock with a simple objective of seizing Marigny and Saint-Gilles. Okay, so Saint-Gilles is this one up here, and Marigny is that one over here, these 2 villages. In the center, the bombing quickly put the old Panzerlehr division out of action. But the western portion of the attack bogged down quickly against German defense positions of the 13th Parachute Regiment, who had escaped most of the bombing. Around the town of Hebec-Revent, Panther tanks and German infantry were also putting up a strong fight. Okay, so that would be here, over there. As a result, first day gains were disappointing. The options of Lightning Joe Collins, commander of the US forces, were to continue the infantry attacks in hopes of securing a clean breakthrough, or act more boldly and commit the mechanized forces held in reserves the next day. Never a timid man, he opted for the latter. By late afternoon, the 3rd Armored Division was on the outskirts of Marigny, and the 2nd Armored Division moving rapidly towards Saint-Gilles. An attempt counterattack by Kampfgruppe Heinz and remnants of Panzer Lehr could not stop the armored advance. The US forces had achieved their breakout. The stage is set, the battle lines are drawn, and you are in command. The rest is history. Okay. As an allied player, I can take 5 command cards and I will start. The Axis player usually would take 4 command cards. The problem is, if I give the Axis player now the command cards, I could react. So what I do is, and that is basically the whole solitaire rule I use, the AI player, he can always draw a new hand every turn, but only half the number of cards he usually would take rounded up. So in this case, because he can take 4 command cards, he will draw 2 new cards every turn and simply choose the better one. And that's it. That's all that happens. The goal is to gain 5 medals. How to gain a medal? Well, there are basically 2 options in this scenario. The first is you simply kill an enemy unit. If you destroy an enemy unit, you will gain a medal for that. The other option is to hold one of these 2 villages here. As long as one of your units is in a village, then you will also gain this medal. But if you leave the village, you lose it again. Okay. So let's see. First we draw 5 cards. Let's see what we got here. Okay, these are some interesting cards, especially here. The infantry assault looks promising. Also the attack, some good cards. Maybe the attack, yeah, well, we'll see about that. Okay, so let's see now. Basically, as you can see, the board would be just some green area covered with these hexes here. And then you place the terrain tiles like these. They're all double-sided. You place them on the board, and in this way you simply build the map following the scenario instructions. And here we have now 4 types of terrain. We got the forests here, we got the hedgerows, we have villages like these, and here the rivers, which will not be very interesting because they are here only at the side, only that one and this one over here. You cannot enter these rivers except here on that bridge, but you can shoot over these rivers. That's possible. They don't block line of sight, but they block movement. Okay, so a basic concept of this game is now that you have these units, and you can see here 4 miniatures. And these are now not 4 units, but this is 1 unit. And the miniatures are basically the life points of the unit. So if you do a hit, you simply remove a miniature. And if there is no miniature left, the unit is destroyed. There is no other effect apart from indicating how many life points are left. So the strength of a unit and the speed and all these things, they stay the same. No matter if there are 4 miniatures or just 1. It's only to indicate how many life points the unit has. The tanks here, they have only 3. They can only take 2 hits, and the third would then destroy them. There is one exception though. It's this one up here. You can see there is this badge here. That is a German elite unit, and that can take 3 hits, and the 4th will then destroy it. There can be never more than 1 unit per space. And we have these red lines here that separate the board in 3 different areas, a left one, a center one, and the right one. And you can see these command cards here. They very often indicate where you can order the units. So you can only order 3 units on this side of the map if we use this attack card here. Issue an order to 3 units on the right flank. Okay, so let's see what we do now. I think one main problem is over here. These guys, they are in reach of the tanks, and yeah, the tanks can fire 3 spaces. So and they are pretty deadly. So it might be a good idea to move these guys maybe here into the woods, so that they are not such an easy target. I could use that probe card here. Issue an order to 2 units on the left flank. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to simply discard that card. And now we have here that simple player 8, and it indicates here infantry. Move 0 to 1 and battle, or move 2 and no battle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to activate now 2 units here. I'm going to activate that one and this one. And I'm going to move with this unit here into the woods. 3. And now I just moved 1 space. So in theory I could battle, because it says move 0 to 1 and battle. But these are now forests, and it says here, unit moving in cannot battle. And there's also the restriction, unit moving in must stop and may move no further on that turn. So although I could move a second step with these guys, because I'm moving into a forest, I cannot move on. And I'm thinking about moving with these guys in here. I could also move here across that river into that city, but I don't see an advantage here. So I guess I'm going to move here, simply because I don't want to risk being attacked by the tanks here. It's a little maybe too cautious. I don't know about that. I'm sure there are many people out there who know all kinds of tactics and to say this is just a stupid idea. But I think, I think I prefer to be cautious, and there is no need to hurry. You know, there is no turn limit or something. And I have the advantage of numbers, so I can kind of bring my forces into a good position and then try to start to attack the Germans. Okay, so that was basically my turn. I did this probe, and then I can draw a new card so that I have my full hand of 5 cards again. And now it's the German player, and he will now simply draw 2 cards and we'll see what we use. Okay, so these cards are special cards and they are usually pretty good. Move out, issue an order to 4 infantry units. Terrain movement and battle restrictions still apply. If you do not command any infantry units, issue an order to 1 unit of your choice. So that sounds interesting, and I guess I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna play that card, move out. I could also play that probe, and that would in this case cover this area here, and I could activate 2 units there. So there are now 2 choices, and it's actually not. I'm not sure after thinking this through. I don't know which one is better. There would be the choice to move these guys here to activate the tanks and move here. Just a second. Oh no, that's a hedgerow. I'm not sure if they can shoot if they leave the hedgerow. Yeah, they can actually. They can. Just if they move in, they can't. So I'm thinking about moving out with the tanks, for example, here. And then they can attack these this unit here with their full strength. That might be an interesting option too. The other option would be to activate, for example, these 2 units and that one and maybe this one up there with this move out option and simply do some attacks here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to roll a die here and let that be randomly determined. So on a 1 to 3, these tanks will actually move. Okay, so that's the tanks. So in this case, they simply move here. And they can then now roll 3 dice, because you can see here on that player 8, it indicates the range. So here's the tank. So the tank can shoot the next, he can shoot 3 spaces. And on every target space, the tank might use 3 dice. So when it's a hit now, if he rolls a grenade, it's always a hit. And if the die shows the unit type of the target, then it's also a hit. So if he rolls now a grenade or this infantry, and there are 2 infantry symbols on each die, then it would be a hit. Well, let's see. Okay, well that was pretty amazing, because we have now a grenade and an infantry. So that means the unit loses 2. 2 hits, so there are now 2 left. And then we have this flag here. And the flag shows that the unit is forced to retreat. And that simply means it has to move back. So for example, if this unit would be forced to retreat, it has to move back to the player on one of these 2 spaces here. But this unit cannot retreat out of the board. So instead of retreating, it loses another unit, another miniature. So that's pretty amazing. We nearly managed to destroy our first unit with that attack. Okay, very good. I could have activated a second unit in this area, but I didn't want to, because I wanted to keep these 2 infantry units, in cover. Okay, well, I can do now this infantry assault. He couldn't know that I have that card. So what I could do now is issue an order to all infantry units in one section. Units may move up to 2 hexes and still battle, or move 3 hexes but not battle. If you do not command any infantry units, blah blah blah. So there are also a few options now. One of them would be, we could now activate these 3 units. They are all in the left area. And we could do a counterattack here on the tanks. And I'm pretty sure we might be able to destroy them, actually. I think there is a good chance that we might destroy the tanks here. Another option would be, we could activate these, and maybe also that one, and simply move forward, which will probably allow us to take that central point here. And the tanks are tempting, but to be honest, I think this central point is actually more important. So I guess I'm going to try to do an attack here in the center. Play the infantry assault to 2 hexes and still battle. Okay, so it's hard to say, actually. I'm really not sure. It's an interesting situation now. I mean, if I do this attack here on that point here, on that central point, I definitely risk to lose this unit here, because I will not survive another attack with the tanks here. So that's kind of a problem, but as I said, on the other hand, it might be a strategical advantage if I can secure that center point right now. So let's see what else we have. I mean, we have that one here, for example, that says order 3 units. So that's also kind of interesting. There is, damn it. But the good thing with this infantry assault is that we can move 2 hexes and still battle. So we could move right in front of these guys and shoot. And as you can see here, with the infantry units, the closer you are with the infantry, the more dice you can roll. That's the difference to the tanks. They can always roll 3 dice. But the infantry units, they can only roll 3 dice if the target is directly adjacent to them, and then it's 2. And if the target is 3 hexes away, they can only roll 1 die. So I guess I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to play the infantry assault, and I'm going to attack that point here in the middle. And I can... So this is all infantry units in one section. Okay. So let's see what that means. Well, theoretically, we could also we could also use these guys and try to attack the tanks after moving 2 spaces. And I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to do this counter-attack now. So I'm going to move 2 spaces, 1, 2, and up here. And then I can still attack the tanks. It's pretty hard to hit them, but maybe it impresses them a little bit. And it kind of secures this poor guy here. And then I got 3 more options left. So now I'm going to move these 2 spaces. Then I'm going to move these guys 2 spaces. And finally, I'm going to move... Yeah, I think I'm going to move them also 2 spaces. So that these, my tanks, they can now easier move out. And because they are slowed down in the woods, and they can use their full speed if they if there is no terrain obstacle. And they were kind of blocked because the infantry was here. Okay, so now let's see. Because the tanks are 2 spaces away, I can only roll 2 dice to attack them. You can see that here, 2 spaces away, 2 dice. And this time I need either a grenade symbol or the tank symbol to hit. So it's not that simple as it was with the infantry, because there's only 1 tank symbol, and the infantry was 2 tank symbols. Were 2 symbols on the die. So let's see. Well, that was cool. At least 1 hit. So I don't know how much these guys are impressed, but it's at least a start. We destroyed 1 of them. And now we can start attacking these guys here in the hedgerow. And as you can see here, if you attack units in the hedgerow, if the infantry attacks a unit in the hedgerow, they can roll -1 die, or they must roll -1 die. So usually, because they are directly adjacent, I could roll 3 dice. But because now of the terrain of this penalty, I can only roll 2 dice. And these were 2 hits, which is absolutely amazing. So we can kill 2 of them. And well, if we would roll another 2 hits, that would actually mean that we could destroy the whole unit. Yeah, I think we can say these were 2 hits. I would say. Okay, so now the unit is destroyed, and that is great. So yeah, that's. I think that was definitely a success, and we can now place that destroyed unit, or one miniature of that unit here. And this is now our first medal, and we need 5 medals to be successful. So that was a pretty good turn. We managed to secure the center area and destroy our first unit. Very, very good. Now let's see what the other guy will do. Okay, so, well, that's not so great. You could use that reckon card here, and in my solo rules, well, usually it says when drawing a new command card, draw 2, choose 1 and discard the other. So in my solo rules, that means in the next turn, the AI can simply draw 1 additional card. If it uses that one. Could also use that one, the probe here on the left flank. Both is here on that side, which is not so amazing. So I think maybe they actually use this reckon thing. And they can activate that unit here and maybe simply attack here. These are 3 hexes away. So it's not very efficient, but they can at least draw an additional card in the next turn then. So they can only roll 1 die to attack that unit here. Well, that wasn't that great. That is a flag, so the unit is forced to retreat. And it cannot retreat in here because there's only one unit allowed per space, but it can retreat back on that space. And this is what happens. And there is no further damage to the unit. So let's see what we can do now. Well, we have this pretty cool card here, the General Advance. That's definitely a good one. And I think I'm going to play that one. I'm pretty sure I will, actually. So I will activate 2 units in each section. So first I'm going to activate these units here, that one, and this one will move out of the forest, and they can both attack now this tank unit. So there is a good chance that I can destroy the tanks here. Then we can activate 2 units in the middle area, in the middle section. So I guess I'm going to move in here with that unit. I cannot take this one and move in here because the hedgerows say unit moving in must stop and may move no further, and to enter or take ground, unit must start its move from adjacent hex. So if I want to move into a hedgerow, I have to be adjacent, and I'm going to do this. I'm going to move in here. And well, then I think I will take these guys, move in here, and I guess this, well, that was then the activation on that side. And furthermore, I can activate units on this side here, and I think I'm going to take this unit here and move them here into the woods, into the forest. And just want to see, I think I can still shoot. No, unit moving in cannot battle. Okay, and then yeah, I'm not sure what to do with these. I think I'm gonna activate. Yeah, it's a tough decision actually. I think I'm gonna activate this unit and move here. I mean, that's a problem because I'm gonna attack that one here. The problem is that they are definitely in a stronger position. They are inside that hedgerow. So it's not going to be easy to destroy these guys. And they are pretty vulnerable here. But on the other hand, we must attempt to take some ground here. Otherwise, we cannot win this scenario. And we are in the lead with our medals, so I think we can risk that. Okay, so let's see now. First, let's try to destroy this tank unit here, and this unit can now roll all 3 dice. They're full. They have their full strength because the tanks are directly adjacent, and if we're lucky, we can kill them. Well, yeah, definitely, we were. Awesome. We destroyed these 2, this unit here. So this is now my 2nd medal already. That was good. And then we can try to shoot here at the village. And we got to subtract 1 because the village is also some kind of cover. So usually we could roll 2 dice, but because these guys are in the village, we can only roll 1 die. And that was no hit. Okay, so that was my turn. And then, because the AI did this reckon action in the last round, they are now allowed to draw 3 cards. Well, that is also not that great. They are really unlucky, actually. I mean, the attack... I don't know. That only covers these guys. They could try... I don't know. They move out of a hedgerow. They can still battle. So maybe we can risk that. We might actually attack this unit here from the village and move these guys out of the hedgerow and also attack them. So maybe we can weaken these guys quite a bit. Yeah, I think I'm going to try that. That's not great though. But I think it's the best I have. So yeah, I'm going to play that probe again. Activate 2 units. And I'm going to activate them. And I'm going to move with them out here. So that brings me a little closer and gives me 1 more die when attacking these guys. So let's see. I hope it is risky. I mean, it is risky. But still I want to try it. So now they have 2 dice. And these also have 2 dice. So the first one. Well, that's 1 hit. At least. And the second one. Ah, damn it. Okay, they're rolling really bad now. That's only a flag, so they have to retreat. So they will move back here. And this is it. Okay, they are definitely also unlucky. I mean, they draw bad cards and they roll bad. Okay, so let's see what we can do now. Okay, it seems to me now that we have to do an attack on the right flank here. So we can activate 3 guys. And I know it is pretty risky. It is actually damn risky. But I want to go on here, you know. I need to sacrifice some people, I guess, to make some progress here. So I'm going to attack these guys. I'm going to attack them from here and from here. And then I'm going to bring some tanks. So they're going to move here. And they can actually also shoot because they can move 3 spaces and battle. So they move here and then also shoot these guys. Okay, so let's see. First it's now this unit here. They can roll 2 dice because usually it would be 3 dice because they're adjacent, but because of the hedgerows they can only roll 2 dice. Oh, that wasn't good. The problem now is there is a flag, so that means 1 is destroyed, but now they can retreat. And that makes it impossible for the others to attack. So that kind of sucks. But okay, I mean, what we could do is we could attack these guys. This is still possible. So I can only roll 1 die. I think I will do my first attack with these guys from the forests. Well, it doesn't matter actually. They also have only 1 die because usually they would have 2, but because they're in the hedgerow, they can only use 1. Well, that's a tank symbol. That doesn't help at all. And now the tanks will attack. Okay, no hit here. Because remember, the symbol has to be the target symbol to do a hit, not the symbol of the attacking unit. Okay, so let's see. It's again them. Okay, that is not bad. They can play this card here direct from HQ. Issue an order to 4 units of your choice. That's definitely a good one. So that will allow now these guys to be activated. They move here, and they are also activated, so we try to attack them here. And then we have 2 more units left. Okay, and I think what I'm going to do is actually, I'm going to take these guys and move them here. So they can attack here. They have now line of sight on these ones. And in addition, does that make any sense? No, it doesn't actually. No, I think they stay here. I will simply activate these and these. And yeah, I'm gonna try to do some damage on these ones. So let's see now. Maybe we're lucky. Let's start here. 2 dice. Okay, that's at least 1 hit for them. And now here, the other ones. Okay, that's another hit. Well, okay, that could have been worse, but it's not good. So we have now here 2 units that are both very weakened, and we don't want to lose them. And now here, these guys attack, also with 2 dice. That was a miss. Pretty bad one, actually. And the other ones... that was a good one. So I lose also 2 units here. Not that great. Okay. So let's see what I can do now. Okay, my problem is I don't have a card that allows me to move a unit on the right flank. So that's pretty bad, because that means that probably this unit might be lost. And I only have this pretty bad card, the Reckon, for these guys on the left flank. But still, I think it makes sense to try to save them. So, I don't know. Well, I could move back here into the village, for example, with them. That's probably the best I can do. Or I could move here into the forest. But then they're still vulnerable. I guess I'm going to use this Reckon card here, order 1 unit, and move now back here across the bridge and move here into the village. Sometimes retreat is a good option. And now I can actually draw 2 cards, choose one, and discard the other. Okay, so let's see, we got that barrage and a counterattack. So it's hard to say. It says issue the same order displayed by your opponent. That could be pretty valuable, but I'm not allowed to use it following my solo rules, because I could then play an order for the AI, and that's definitely a bad, not fair. So I'm gonna draw another one, and this is the ambush, and this is actually the second card that I'm not allowed to use, because this is also, well, some kind of direct reaction on an action of the AI. So these are the 2 cards that you cannot use in following my solo rules. The AI might use the counterattack, but the ambush is impossible. Okay, that is a close assault. That's pretty good, actually. Issue an order to all infantry and armor units adjacent to enemy units. Units ordered battle with one additional die. Units may not move before they battle, but after a successful close assault they may take ground. Well, the problem is we don't have that situation right now. So I guess what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep that barrage. And it says target one enemy unit, roll 4 battle dice, ignoring any terrain battle die reduction. Score 1 hit for each die matching the unit symbol or grenade. That's not bad. So I guess this is what I'm going to do. Okay, now let's do 1 or 2 more turns. And so first, yeah, it's now again them. Okay, they can now play, they got these 2 interesting cards. One is the Armor Assault, that would allow them to give orders to armor units. But the problem is they are still pretty much in a cage, so that's not such a great idea. I think their Finest Hour is definitely better. And that says, roll 1 battle die for each command card you have, including this card. So in that case, it's not that great. It would be only the 2. And honestly, I'm not sure if this is fair. I think I will give them 4 dice because the Axis player would usually have 4 command cards. So for each unit symbol rolled, 1 unit of this type is ordered. For each star rolled, 1 unit of your choice is ordered. Ordered units battle with 1 additional die. So that's definitely a good one. And then we have to reshuffle the deck. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so that is pretty good. We can order 3 infantry units. That's pretty good. And they have all 1 additional die when battling. Okay, so I guess I'm going to activate that one and that one. And maybe even this one. Yeah. So these guys move here. They're going to battle. And maybe these 2 can actually attack them. And then this one might be able to attack the tanks down here. I think that makes sense. So, let's see. First, now they will attack, and because usually it would be 2 dice, they can now roll 3 dice to do the attack. And that was actually enough to kill my unit. So that's the first medal for the Germans. And then well, their line of sight on these is now blocked by the hedgerow, so they cannot do the attack. Actually, I should have started with them and then with these. That was a stupid mistake. But now they will attack, and they can roll 3 die. Okay, that was 1 hit. So, not so great. And then we have to reshuffle the deck. And I think this might be actually a good point to load this up. Well, I think I'm still doing good, but on the other side it's not that clear. These guys are all pretty weakened, so I guess I can more or less forget that flank. And there might be a counterattack which might even bring me in trouble. On the other hand, I'm pretty strong in the center, but there are still some troops left here, and then these elite tanks well, they should not be underestimated, actually. And this is also not going to be easy. They're all pretty safe in their hedgerows. So I think there is still... I got a feeling that I'm doing a little better overall, simply because I got more troops, which allows me to withdraw weakened troops. But in the end, I'm not sure if it's really it might be a very close battle. Okay, so I hope to see you in the next video. Until then, bye.